It's Darkblade here with another quick demo for you. Um, this episode, we're going to be focusing on the Batman miniature game bases. The molded bases that actually come with the figures these days, they did swap for a while to go with like a pavement effect, but they seem to have gone back to these molded ones. I know there's been a few mumblings about how rubbish they are, but if you take a little bit of time, you can make them look okay. I must admit that I keep these for my bad guys, like the Black Mask and some of the other crews, like Bane and all those guys. But other crews, I've moved over to like resin bases. I like to keep the good guys, but I know this isn't a good guy. But I like the Joker on these ones as well. So all my Joker crew have got these resin bases, and all my good guys have got these ones. But this will be another demo later on down the line, I think. But as I said, this one's going to be on how to get a nice effect on the BMG bases. Okay, so the colours that I'm going to use today, I'm going to be base coating with Vallejo's brown sand. I did try dark sand once, but it seems to be quite yellow and it doesn't give us as nice a finish. So and I always look for a nice finish that's easy to achieve. So I've gone with the brown sand. Then we virtually soak it in Agrax Earthshade. As you can see, I've done quite a bit of soaking. It's nearly gone. And then the stones, going to start off with dark grey and dry brush light grey and then work our way up to white. The white will be more or less around the edges. And then you'll finish off the base going around the outside of the rim in black. So let's go ahead now. Okay, so as you can see, I've filled in around the tab with polyfiller, which will be in a previous video. So I'm going to go straight in with the Agrax. It's going to be over the brown sand color that I've put on there. That's about 2 thin coats to get that nice opaque color so nothing shows through underneath, and just slap on the Agrax. As you can see, there's no great technique to it, you just flood it basically. It's quite difficult seeing this at an angle, so I'm going to have to try and turn it around so I can see it. Okay, so that's going on, and that is more or less it. It may need another coat, but we'll see how we go. Incidentally, this is a Pro Art brush. I think I got it from an art shop. It says it's for miniature painting, but I like it because it's got a flat end and it holds quite a bit of paint. It's a good alternative to GW dry brushing brushes that are really expensive. I think this was more, it could have been a couple of quid cheaper, I don't know, but it's worth shopping around. So if you see one of these, grab it. Right, I've just swapped over to speed things up. As you can see, the penguins already had one coat. I'm going to throw on another one. Let's see, I'm just dipping my brush in, and there's loads of Agrax on there. You don't have to be too careful either, because I haven't painted the shoes or anything on the miniature yet. Right, so there we go, there's the second coat done. I'll just leave that to dry. Right, the next part then is to move on to the stones. For this I've got remember I said earlier it was the Vallejo dark grey, light grey and white. So I'll start off with the dark grey, and all I'm doing is layering on over the stones where the stones are. Doesn't matter if you get any on the agrax that you've already put down, because when you start highlighting them, you tend to focus on the edges of the stone rather than the parts that are down by the earth. That have got a nice brown line around them at the minute. It doesn't really affect them. So I'll carry on and do the rest of the stones. And we'll carry on from there when it's dry. Right out, they've dried out nicely. Next stage is to go a shade lighter. So if you're not happy with going straight in with a light grey, all you do is put some in with a dark grey and give it a mix. And if you're happy with that shade, go over the top. I'm going to add a little bit more light grey to it because I like it quite light to start with, just for the mid-tone. And I'm just using an old, really old dry brush. You can see how knackered it is. And basically, if you're not familiar with dry brushing, you just get rid of the excess off of your brush and then just stroke over the top of the stones. Until it leaves a lighter colour. If you can see that. If it doesn't come straight away, don't worry. I may have to go over a couple of times. And try and go over pieces where there's quite a few contours on it, so that you pick them out. It's not too bad. I'm going to try another coat, but I'm just going straight with the light grey this time. Get all the paint off. A little bit more this time. Okay. There you go. Okay, so that's the light grey done. I'm going to go, because I've still got a little bit of light grey on my brush, what I'm doing is just dipping in the white, and you'll see here that I'm wiping the paint off. It's a really, really light grey. I might do a little bit more. And that's okay to go in because you don't want a stark white colour. So we'll try that and see what it looks like. And I'm just focusing on the edges of the stonework now. If you don't want to dry brush this stage, you can thin it down and use a really thin brush and just go around the outlines of the top edges. But I think we can get away with a dry brush here. It's not looking too bad. So that's the stonework done. All you need to do now really is to tidy up the black around the edge of the base. And if you're that way inclined, you can add your static grass. I say if you're that way inclined. I don't really think it fits in the streets of Gotham. Not that these bases fit in the streets of Gotham, but yeah, they look okay, and they're better than just plain black or just plain grey. I like them. I think they're quite good. Okay, so that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time in the next episode. Cheers.